Hello, friends. Today we are going to discuss the summary of a very famous book that has helped millions of people around the world change the way they think. The name of this book is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, written by Dr. Joseph Murphy. This book teaches us one very powerful idea. Your life is not shaped only by outside circumstances. Your inner thoughts, beliefs, imagination, emotions, and subconscious mind also deeply influence your life. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, there are two parts of the mind working inside every human being. One is the conscious mind, the part of the mind we use to think, make decisions, ask questions, and analyze things. The second is the subconscious mind, the deeper part of the mind that controls our habits, emotions, beliefs, fears, hopes, and inner programming. In simple words, the conscious mind is like a captain, and the subconscious mind is like a powerful ship. The captain gives direction, but the ship moves in the direction it is guided. If you repeatedly think one thought, create one image, or hold one belief with your conscious mind, that thought slowly enters your subconscious mind. Then, your subconscious mind begins to shape your actions, habits, and decisions according to that belief. This is the central message of the book. If you fill your subconscious mind with positive, strong, and successful thoughts, change begins to happen in your life. But if you fill it with fear, doubt, failure, anger, low self-worth, and negative ideas, your subconscious mind also starts creating similar results in your life. The book does not say that everything will magically change just by thinking. Instead, it explains that your thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and actions are connected. When you change from the inside, you also begin to make different choices in the outside world. Your confidence grows, you recognize opportunities, fear stops controlling you, and you move toward your goals with more consistency. Dr. Joseph Murphy says that the subconscious mind does not argue. It does not decide whether the thought you give it is good or bad. It simply accepts what you repeatedly think, feel, and believe. For example, if a person keeps saying to himself, "I am a failure. I cannot do anything. My situation will never change. I do not have any ability." Slowly, these words become part of his subconscious mind. Then he starts making decisions that stop him from moving forward. He gives up before trying. Even when an opportunity appears, he sees it as a risk. If he faces a small failure, he takes it as proof that his whole life is a failure. But if the same person begins to change his thinking and says, "I can learn. I am improving. I have ability inside me. I can become a calm, strong, and successful person," then these new thoughts slowly create confidence inside him. His behavior changes. He tries. He learns. He starts seeing mistakes not as the end, but as lessons. The book explains a very important principle. Whatever you deeply accept in your mind begins to influence your life. Now an important question comes. How can we change our subconscious mind? Dr. Joseph Murphy gives several methods for this. The first method is positive affirmations. This means giving your mind positive and constructive statements again and again. For example, "I am calm. I am moving forward with confidence. My mind is clear, strong, and creative. I accept good opportunities in my life. I am becoming better every day." But simply repeating words is not enough. You must also feel them. When you say a positive statement, feel it as if it is becoming true. Your subconscious mind understands the language of emotion very deeply. The second method is visualization. The book says that you should not only think about your goal in words, but also see it as a picture in your mind. If you want to become confident, imagine yourself speaking with confidence. If you want success, see yourself working hard, learning, growing, and succeeding. If you want peace, imagine yourself as a calm, satisfied, and balanced person. The image you create in your mind has a deep effect on the subconscious mind. When you repeatedly create a positive mental picture, your mind begins working in that direction. But remember one thing, visualization does not mean living in fantasy. It means preparing your mind for the direction you want to move in. When the inner picture becomes clear, your outer actions also become clearer. The third method is giving your mind the right message before sleep. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, the time before sleep is very important for the subconscious mind. At that time, the conscious mind slowly becomes quiet, and the subconscious mind becomes more receptive. If you sleep with worry, anger, fear, complaints, and negative thoughts, your mind remains in that condition during the night. But if you sleep with gratitude, peace, positive thoughts, and good intentions, your subconscious mind works in a better way. Before sleeping, you can say to yourself, "I am peaceful. My mind is showing me better solutions. Tomorrow I will wake up as a better, stronger, and more positive person. I accept peace, growth, and goodness in my life." This small habit can slowly change your inner state. Another important message of the book is belief has power. Dr. Joseph Murphy says that whatever you deeply believe, your mind begins to search for paths according to that belief. If you believe you will fail, your brain will search for proof of failure. But if you believe you can learn and grow, your brain will search for opportunities, solutions, and ways forward. That is why two people can react differently to the same situation. One person sees a difficulty and says, "This is impossible." Another person says, "This is difficult, but I can find a way." The difference is not only in the situation, the difference is also in their inner belief. The book also tells us that fear is one of the biggest obstacles in human life. Many people do not fail because they lack ability. They stop because they are afraid. They fear people's opinions, mistakes, loss, criticism, and sometimes even success. Dr. Joseph Murphy says fear is also an idea planted in the subconscious mind. To change it, we need a new idea, a new belief, and a new action. If you are afraid of something, ask yourself, is this fear real, or is it just a story created by my mind? Can I take one small step despite this fear? If I fail, what can I learn from it? When you take small steps despite fear, your subconscious mind learns that the danger was not as big as it believed. Slowly, confidence begins to grow. This book also talks about prayer and faith. For Dr. Joseph Murphy, prayer is not only repeating words. It is a deep belief that your mind, your spirit, and the creative power of life can work in your favor. He says that when you pray or hold a positive thought in your mind, do it not with doubt and fear, but with belief and peace. The subconscious mind accepts more deeply what is given to it with emotional faith. Another important lesson from the book is to free your mind from hatred, jealousy, and anger. If you hold poison in your heart for others, that poison first affects your own mind and body. Anger, jealousy, and revenge reduce your energy. They create a negative state inside your subconscious mind. That is why the book talks about forgiveness, letting go, and making your heart lighter. Forgiveness does not mean that you accept someone's wrong action as right. It means you free your own heart from the prison created by the past. When you let go of others, you become free yourself. Your energy returns. Your mind becomes clear. You are able to focus on your purpose. The book also gives an important lesson about success. Success is not only the result of luck. It is a combination of mental image, belief, effort, opportunity, and consistency. If you keep seeing yourself as weak, you will be afraid to make big decisions. But if you create the belief inside yourself that I can learn, I can try, I can improve, then the chances of growth in your life increase. If a student thinks, I am not good at studying, he will make less effort. But if he thinks, I may be weak today, but I can improve with effort, he will look at studying in a different way. The same principle works in every area of life: business, job, relationships, health, confidence, and personality. Inner belief plays a very important role. The book also explains the power of the mind in relation to health. Dr. Joseph Murphy says that our mind and body are connected. When the mind is constantly under stress, fear, and worry, the body is affected too. And when the mind is in a state of peace, hope, and positivity, the body also benefits. This does not mean that doctors or medical treatment are not needed when someone is ill. Treatment is very important. But a positive mental state, hope, prayer, peace, and better thinking can strengthen the healing journey. The human mind gives signals to the body. If the mind stays in constant panic, the body becomes tired. If the mind moves toward peace and hope, the body also feels better. That is why mental peace, good sleep, positive thinking, and gratitude are important for a healthy life. Gratitude is also very important in this book. When you focus on the blessings already present in your life, your mind shifts from lack to abundance. If you only keep thinking about what you do not have, you will always feel worried. But if you also notice what you do have, health, family, time, the chance to learn, the ability to think, and the strength to work, hope begins to grow inside you. Gratitude guides the subconscious mind in a positive direction. It makes a person stronger from within. The power of your subconscious mind also teaches us that words are very powerful. The words we use about ourselves every day slowly begin to shape our identity. If you repeatedly say, "I am unlucky," your mind will search for proof of bad luck. If you repeatedly say, "I always fail," you will feel weak before even trying. But if you say, "I am learning, I am improving, I can find a way," then a new strength is created inside you. That is why you must be careful with your words, especially the words you say to yourself when you are alone. Your subconscious mind listens to your own voice very seriously. If you want to bring the teachings of this book into your life, start with a few simple habits. When you wake up in the morning, set a positive intention for the day. Spend some time making your goal clear. Notice negative self-talk and replace it with better words. Repeat a few positive affirmations calmly every day. Before sleeping, give your mind hope, not fear. Create a mental picture of your goal. And most importantly, change your actions along with your thoughts. Because changing your thoughts begins the path, but changing your actions changes your life. This book reminds us that human beings are not weak. There is a great mental power inside every person. But many people never use that power because of negative thinking, old fears, wrong beliefs, and a weak self-image. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seed you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of fear, fear will grow. If you plant seeds of hope, confidence, peace, and success, they will slowly become part of your personality. So protect your mind, choose your thoughts, improve your words, strengthen your beliefs, and consciously choose the direction of your life. The summary of the power of your subconscious mind is this: your inner mind has a deep influence on your life. If you create belief, positive images, gratitude, peace, and purpose within yourself, then doors of change begin to open in your life. So today, ask yourself one question. What message am I giving to my subconscious mind every day? Am I giving it fear or confidence? Am I giving it doubt or belief? Am I giving it a picture of failure or growth? Am I calling myself weak, or am I giving myself a chance to improve? Remember, change does not begin from outside. Change begins from inside. When the inner mind changes, the outer life also begins to change. This was the complete English summary of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. If you like this summary, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more book summaries. Keep your mind positive, strengthen your belief, and take one small step today to improve your life.